Good evening, everyone. Good evening, Jai Hind, and welcome to Khan Global Studies. I hope all of you are doing well. Good evening, everyone. So, tell me, how are you? How is everyone? Good evening. So, I guess I am properly audible and visible to all of you. I guess I am properly audible and visible to all of you. Good evening, Shikshak Mahoday. Okay. Good evening, everyone. So, first of all, welcome to the session. And in today's session, the topics which we are going to discuss, the first one is about the defense sector, that is related to indigenous defense procurement. We are going to talk about this indigenous defense procurement. Like in the recent times, you may have seen that India has been giving this more and more focus on indigenization of the defense technology. So this is part of your GS paper 3 security, GS paper 3 security part. And here we will discuss about this, that what is the news all about and why India needs to go for this defense indigenization. So that is one of the topic which we are going to discuss. The second topic which we are going to discuss is about plastic and endocrine disruption. Okay. Plastics are one of the major challenges in the present time. And again, there is one such article which is saying that due to plastics, there can be severe health consequences in human beings. So we are going to talk about this one as well. So this is part of your environment. Then the third thing which we have to discuss today, it is from international relations. Recently, the Indian Prime Minister has visited Ghana. Okay. And let me just share you one very important part of it. Back here in India, a few days ago, I think there was this one question from one of you, that why we are having so many political parties. We were talking about this, that we have got so many registered unrecognized political parties, and I told you that we have got around 2800 registered unrecognized political parties. So then there was a question also, that why we are having so many political parties. Now let me tell you one thing. When Indian Prime Minister visited Ghana, he especially pointed out this, that the level of democracy in India is so mature. We have so much mature democracy that there are 2500 political parties in India. And the parliamentarians of Ghana, they were amazed by this number, that one country is having 2500 political parties. So back here in India, we can discuss that why we are having so many political parties. But when we go on international forums, we claim it very much proudly that we have so many political parties in India. So this is one part. We are going to talk it from the IR section, India-Africa relations. The fourth thing, a new plant species is there in Assam. So it is again part of the environment. And then transgender clinic in India, part of society. So these are the 5 topics which we are going to discuss in today's session. Okay. Yes. So about education, yes, Bharat is saying that Diksha portal, SWAM online learning platform, National Digital Education Architecture, National Education Technology Forum, and digital classrooms. Very good. Okay. Anyone else? If you can give me the answer for that. So some of you may have mentioned it last day. Not some of you, many of you have mentioned it. Shikha has also mentioned about this technical interventions. Okay. Radio Schooling, Shiksha Vani, Digital India Mission, EPG Pathsala, Swam, Diksha, PM E-Vidya, Swam Prabha. Okay. In same manner, I think Soldier 3647. Okay. So you have also mentioned about PM Kusum, Per Drop More Crop, Namo Drone Didi Scheme, Digital Agricultural Mission. Drone spraying, thresher machine, HYV seeds, weather forecast, soil checkup, nano urea, sowing machine. Okay. Vishal has also mentioned about drip system, sprinkler and mulching paper. Then there is message from Suhani also about this, that Vidya Samiksha Kendra, NDR, Nipun Bharat Mission, Samagra Shiksha Abhiyan and Swam Portal. Okay. Nano urea also. Okay. So then there is also this one from Vishal about Diksha, PM E-Vidya, Swam and online learning. Okay. So yes, there is also answer from Suhani, Tanisha and Manjulata. So that's good. So I think, see, what is the purpose of this? The purpose is quite simple. If you are going for exam, you should have some examples with you, with respect to women, with respect to children, with respect to agriculture, with respect to education, with respect to health and related sectors. So even if you are having 5 recent schemes, when you are writing the answer, try to use them. It is not only for the YouTube comment section. Whenever you are writing answer, try to utilize as many as you can with respect to these schemes or these recent initiatives. Okay. So that is the motive of this one. Yes, CRISPR gene editing is also there. So very good. I am quite impressed with this. So now we are going to discuss these topics. Today we are not having the MCQs. We will take it from Monday. So we are going to discuss these topics. And before we go into that, there is this one information for you about our batches. So we have this foundation in English medium. Okay. And this is available in both online and offline. We also have these English medium optional batches, socio, public administration and history optional. Math is there in bilingual English and Hindi. Okay. Then we have this mains test series for 2025 also in offline and online mode. And at the same time, we are having this Adhyan batch 3.0. And this is also there for UPSC 2025. So these are our batches which are going on currently. Okay. Now we are going to start with this one topic, Indigenous Defense Procurement. Indigenous Defense Procurement. I could not get the meaning of that hashtag. I have no idea about it. Like I have also been seeing it recently. So I have no such idea about this, that what is this hashtag and everything. In the YouTube comment feature, there is something new. I am not aware about it. Okay. Maybe it is something related to comment or something else. I don't know. Okay. So if we talk about this, let's talk about our topic. Let's talk about our topic. It is about Indigenous Defense Procurement. Indigenous Defense Procurement. So you know that India has been pushing for this Indigenous Defense Procurement. And recently, the Defense Acquisition Council, this one is headed by the Defense Minister. This one is headed by Defense Minister. And this has approved a plan. This has approved a plan for 10 capital acquisition proposal. Okay. So it is saying that there is going to be acquisition of the technology. There is going to be acquisition of the defense in India from the indigenous manner or in indigenous manner of 1.5 lakh crore. Okay. So it is about defense acquisition. It is about defense acquisition worth rupees 1.5 lakh crore, 1.05 lakh crore. Now, in this money, what are we going to purchase? like what is the items which we are going to purchase under this mission. So just to give you an idea, like here we are going to purchase, in this we are going to purchase the armored recovery vehicles. Okay, we are going to have armored recovery vehicle. We are going to have this armored recovery vehicle. We are going to have a very important part, electronic warfare system. We are going to have this electronic warfare system. I think if you look at this one point, electronic warfare system, you can understand that what is the significance of this. Recently, we have seen that there was a conflict between India and Pakistan, and in that, electronic warfare proved to be one of the most important technology with respect to defense. Okay. And in that case, if we are having the indigenous, technology, that is going to provide us with more such strategic autonomy. So that is one thing, electronic warfare system. Okay. Third part is we are going to have integrated common inventory management system. Integrated common inventory management system. Common inventory management system. Like we are now integrating our armed forces. So for inventory management also, we are going to have an integrated service. We have also got surface to air missiles. We are also going to procure surface to air missiles. And at the same time, we are also going to have quick reaction surface to air missiles. Okay. QRSM, quick reaction surface to air missiles. So I think you know about this. Quick reaction surface to air missiles are particularly useful in building an air defense system. So we are having all these important capital acquisition in the indigenous manner. Let me tell you one single thing that why they are important. Okay. There is one country, Ukraine. Okay. So when we are seeing about this conflict between Ukraine and Russia, it's not that Ukraine is not having missiles. Ukraine, if you look at this, they have got missiles. They have got missiles which can reach to inner portions of, these missiles can reach inner portions of Russia. They can reach these inner portions of Russia. These missiles have been provided by United States and allies. Okay. So what is the restriction on it? United States has said that Ukraine can use it only in the bordering states of Russia. It cannot use it beyond certain kilometers. Okay. So it has allowed to be used only in border states. To be used only in border states. Okay. So what we see that is the problem. Why Ukraine is losing the war? Why Ukraine is not able to defend itself? It's just because it has got the missiles, but it has not got the button to the missile. It cannot launch it to any place. Okay. So that is why India needs to have its own indigenous defense capability. There is one single region, and the foremost region, we need to have it for strategic autonomy. Okay. So although this is providing a number of benefits. If we talk about the benefits, it is going to provide us the strategic autonomy. It is going to provide us the strategic autonomy. It is going to boost exports. It is going to boost Make in India. It is going to boost employment. So all other related benefits are there, but the most important remains this, the strategic autonomy. The most important part here which remains is the strategic autonomy which we are going to have if we are having our own indigenous defense equipments. So that is the first and foremost requirement of having these things. Okay. So we have got so many things. Okay. We have got so many such acquisitions going on in India, like these armored vehicles and others, plus other things are also there, like mirrored mines, super rapid gun mount, etc., etc. So many things are going to be done. They are going to come from private as well as public sector units. Okay. So this is one part why we need to go for this. Okay. There is one more thing. Still now we see that India is the second largest weapon importer in the world. Okay. If you look at the report, we have recently seen in the March that from 2020 to 24, India remained as the second largest importer of weapons in the world. Okay. So this is one part, we are still on the second number in 2020 to 24. Although our share is decreasing, but what we see that, like, still we are on the second number. Okay. So this is one part. Okay. Why US imposes restriction on Ukraine? US is just like this, that you can use our weapons. But in the restricted manner, that it should be only in the bordering areas, or suppose if they are coming in your country, then you can attack on them. Why? Because if a US weapon is used in the Russian soil, then Russia will consider that as an aggression by the United States. So then Russia will consider it to be an aggression by the United States. So in that case, Russia and US conflict will start. So Russia has given a strict warning to US that you cannot allow your weapons in my territory. So now Ukraine is like even paying the money. Ukraine is paying the money also to US, and at the same time they are not getting the weapons. So it's like in your country, Russia will come attack, then you will purchase weapon from us, and you will not use that weapon also. And at the same time, US will also get the prime access to all the resources of Ukraine. So benefit goes to US, benefit goes to Russia. The sufferer is, of course, Ukraine. Okay. So that is why any country which wants to like retain its strategic autonomy, which wants to secure its sovereignty, needs to have indigenous defense system. That is the first and the foremost requirement. Okay. So that's why we are discussing about this one topic. I hope that is clear. अच्छा, इससे पता चल जाता है कितने कमेंट आए और उसके हिसाब से रैंक डिसाइड होता है. मींस नाउ दे आर डिसाइडिंग रैंक अकॉर्डिंग टू कमेंट. वाह. So why there will be ranking as per the comment? Yes, it's same like that. I will give you my cycle, but you cannot use it. You cannot ride it. So who else will be like sending the weapons? There are two major suppliers in the world. One, US and allies. The second one is Russia and its allies. There are two weapon suppliers in the world. One gets the weapon from US and its allies, means its friend circle. The second one is Russia. So there are only two major suppliers of weapons. Either you can take one from Russia, or you can take one from US. So you are having fight with one, and you are not like getting the weapons from other. Even if you are getting it, you cannot use it. Okay. So that is our first topic about this weapon and indigenization of defense. Okay. Now coming to the second topic, endocrine disruptors in plastics. Okay. So can you tell me first this one part, that what actually are endocrine disruptors? Can you tell me what are endocrine disruptors? What are endocrine disruptors? Anyone? You all may have heard about this one thing. There is something called as endocrine system. There is one thing called as endocrine system. So endocrine system is the part of our body, the hormonal part of our body. The endocrine system from where multiple hormones are getting released. Like you have insulin, like you have adrenaline, okay, you have the thymus gland, you have the hypothalamus, you have the thyroid gland. They are all part of these endocrine system. Okay. So endocrine disruptor means anything which is interfering, those chemicals which interfere, chemicals which interfere with hormonal system. Of body. Now let me tell you what is the function of these hormonal system. They help in controlling the sugar level, they help in digestion, they help in the growth of body, they help in regulating the sleep cycle, they also help in development of the immune system. In fact, if you look at the human organization or human system, each and every activity in our body is controlled by the hormonal system. These hormones are responsible for a number of life events like reproduction also, growth of person also, development of puberty also, or reaching the age of puberty also. All these things are related to hormonal system. Even our day-to-day activities like release of adrenaline, control of the sugar level using the insulins, all these things are regulated by our endocrine system. And if there is any disruption, if there is a disruption of this system, it can lead to problems like cancer, diabetes, low immunity, infertility, and so on. So endocrine disruptors are basically those chemicals which can interrupt with the hormonal system of our body. And if there is an interference with them, these systems are responsible for our digestion, they are responsible for sugar level, for immunity, for all other functions. So if there is a disruption with the system, there is going to be impact on all these things. Okay. And what is one of the major disruptors? One of the major disruptor here is the microplastics. One of the major disruptor which is here is microplastics. These are basically plastics whose size is less than 5 mm. The plastics which are having size less than 5 mm, they can go into our blood, they can go into lungs, they can go into placenta, they can go into even the breast milk or as well as the semen. So these microplastics can enter into each and every body fluids, into each and every body part. Okay. So what we see that, now let me show you some study results. Okay. There is a study which was conducted by Brugge University, Amsterdam, and it says that microplastic is found in blood of 80% of the human participants. A survey was conducted by one of the universities of Amsterdam, and it found that microplastic is there in 80% of the human blood. Means 80% of the participants who participated in survey, they were having microplastics. Okay. Then in case of 2023 report, it says that 96% of blood sample in India were having microplastics. Okay. So there is, like in case of India, this number is further higher. Then again, what we see that Like there is also microplastics in follicular fluid. Okay. In follicular fluid, which is linked to female fertility. Okay. So what we see that microplastics are almost everywhere. They are going to disrupt. They are going to disrupt. They are going to disrupt the sex hormones. They are going to disrupt the sex hormones and cause infertility. They are also associated with early puberty. Okay. At the same time, what we also see that they are also related with cancer. They have been seen to be related with diabetes. Why? They impact the insulin. They impact the insulin. Okay. At the same time, they have also been related to obesity and cardiovascular diseases. Obesity, cardiovascular diseases. So all sort of diseases are occurring due to microplastics. So the microplastics which we have created, they are now coming back to us. Okay. For a long period of time, we were just seeing the images of whales or other sea creatures trapped in the fishing nets, or those who have consumed enormous amount of plastics. So from their stomach, from their body, huge amounts of plastics were recovered or is still being recovered. Now that plastic is also inside us, and the problem is it is not visible. It is in the form of microplastic, so it is quite invisible. And as a result of this, people have already started suffering from it. So if we talk about this, how much plastic waste is generated? What we see that per year we have generation of 3 million ton plastic waste every year. We have got this 3 million ton of plastic waste, okay, which is being generated per year, and only 13% of this is getting recycled. Okay. So what we see that only 13% is getting recycled. The remaining 80 to 87% is still there in environment. Okay. So this is one part. In many parts of India, we see that these plastics, they are clogging the drains, they are causing urban flood, they are like impacting the aesthetic nature, they are impacting the tourism. So these were the visible impact. Now our fruits or food is contaminated. Now the microplastic is also inside the body. So that is now the invisible impact which we are getting now. Okay. So we have already got some visible impact. Visible impact is in form of like clogging of drains, landfills. Okay. We have seen that wetlands getting destroyed. We have seen marine pollution. All these things were the visible impact. Even the loss of tourism and all. Loss of tourism. Now recently, you may have seen recently multiple pictures, multiple images have gone viral over the internet, where people have gone to Himalayas, people have gone to different areas for trekking, different areas for having fun, having enjoying the nature. But when they are going there, they are polluting it with Maggi packets or chocolate wrappers or the packages which they have taken from various restaurants or various other places. So they are in fact polluting. They are in fact polluting the environment wherever they are going. So people have this weird craving. Like whenever they are going to any such mountain areas or any other thing, they still have these packaged and plastic packaged food items which they are carrying there. They want to get all the luxury along with the nature. And in doing that, they are also like polluting the environment. So they are mostly thinking that I am coming here only one time. Next time I will visit someplace else. So let's pollute it as much as we can. So that is perhaps the mentality of the people. They think that in India there are so many places, and even if we are going 3 or 4 places per year, then also it will take 30-40 years to cover all the areas, even more than that. So when they are going to some area, they are just like polluting it. So that is how we see that in even eco-sensitive zones, in even environment like sensitive zones, we are having too much of plastic pollution. And this plastic pollution is now coming back to us in form of endocrine disruptors. Okay. So your mobile phone is having less plastic than the apples which you are consuming. If you consume a fruit, that is going to have more microplastics than your mobile phone. Your mobile phone still may have durable plastic, which may go on for some time. But the microplastics which are there, they are found in your phones. Okay. Sorry, they are found in your fruits, vegetables. So that is one thing. So in which states? They have been found in Himachal Pradesh also, Uttarakhand also. Think about this. People are going to Haridwar. People are going to Haridwar. They think that if they visit Haridwar, if they take a dip in Holy Ganga, then they will get rid of all their sins and everything. And when they go there, they take their polythene bags and then they throw it in the river. Then they throw it in the river. So that is the challenge. When people are going on these tourist places, in case of Haridwar, in case of Rishikesh, in case of Manali, Shimla, in case of other tourist places also, you will find that plenty of plastic is being found there. Recently, there was one of the tweet which was with respect to Taj Mahal. Now think about this. People are going and admiring Taj Mahal. So they are saying, oh, wow, Shah Jahan has done a very good job. This Taj Mahal is really the wonder of the world. And when they come out of there, what they do? They like throw their trashes all over the place. Let me give you an example. When you go to Taj Mahal, they provide you with this one microfiber type of textile which you have to use to cover your shoes. Means you have to wear that. Now many people don't even take care of it. While they are moving around Taj Mahal, many a times they are simply throwing it away anywhere. They want the Taj Mahal to be clean, but they don't want to take part in that cleanness. They want to like spread the litter all around it, and they still want that Taj Mahal should be always good looking. It should always be clean. It should always be neat and tidy. Okay. But they are throwing the same trash everywhere near Taj Mahal. Even if there is presence of any such like dustbin also, they don't have that much energy to put those like plastics or anything or those garbage in the dustbin. And this is very much common. In fact, if you go to any park also, people are going there for picnic, and after eating all their items, what they do? They throw the garbage just in the park itself. So they want the park to be clean, but then they are just spreading the litter over everywhere. So that is the challenge. Yes. So this is one part. Microplastic is basically the plastic which is of size less than 5 mm. Suppose that if you have got a polythene bag, you know that there won't be the decomposition of it, but this one is going to get into, this will get converted this will get converted in various small fragments. This will get converted into various small fragments. And over the period of time, this will actually become the microplastics. Let me give you another example. We all are using toothbrush. Okay. We are using this toothbrush. Okay. In 1 year or in 1 or 2 months, you might be changing your toothbrush. Now, if we look at this, this is made of those plastics. This is made of these plastics. And every time you are brushing your teeth, some of these microplastics will fall down. Some of these plastics will be worn off. They will get into water. You will not even notice it, but it will get into water. I'm not talking about the bigger visible pieces. When you are brushing your teeth also, then also some part of it is going to be lost. It will go into water and it will eventually end up into the water bodies, into the ground, into the soil, in the plants, in the humans. Okay. So there is a complete cycle. So that is one common example from where you can see how the microplastics are created. Then when you are going to any juice shops, you may have seen that they are giving you straws. So these straws, these are of one time used. And if you visit any juice shop, you will find that in one single day, multiple garbage bags will be filled with these straws and the plastic bottles or the plastic glasses. And then what we will see that all these plastic glasses will be thrown just after this one consumption. What would happen to them? They will end up in trash. Many of them will just get converted into microplastics over the period of time. They will eventually end up into the rivers, into the oceans, into the groundwater, into the soil. So these are the sources of creation of microplastics. Okay. So this is one part. Okay. That from where we are getting these microplastics. Okay. So this is one part, endocrine disruptors and all. Today also I will give you this one task, 5 steps for removal of or reduction, 5 steps for controlling plastic pollution by Government of India. That what 5 steps has been taken by the Government of India for controlling the plastic pollution in India. So this is also one task for you today. That is one thing which you have to give answer for. Okay. Now, let's come to the third topic, and that is India-Africa relation. Okay. We have these India-Africa relation. To see, it's not that suppose if toothbrushes are causing microplastic pollution, so don't think that you will not start using toothbrush from tomorrow. There are certain things for which you have no other alternatives. Yes, if you have the alternatives, you can go for it. But do clean your teeth on regular basis. You cannot skip that part. Okay, you have to brush twice a day. That is not optional. Okay. So we can reduce the plastic consumption in terms of polythene bags, but do keep brushing your teeth. Okay. So don't change that part. Now, we are coming to this one thing, India-Africa relations. Now, let me give you just one single thing. If you have to give up a summary of, or if you have to just see about this India and Africa relation, let me give you this one single thing. Africa, this has emerged as the 4th largest. This has emerged as the 4th largest trading partner of India. It has emerged as the 4th largest trading partner of India with trade over $100 billion. If we have to simply sum up this, you can see how our relations are going on. So we have a bilateral trade of $100 billion. Okay. India has invested if we talk about this, we have an investment of 75 billion. Okay. So India has invested $75 billion in Africa. Okay. We have presence in IT, we have presence in automobiles, we have presence in mining, banking, construction, all these sectors. Okay. So we have presence in Africa in all these sectors. In fact, if there is any such grouping of Africa, we try to be there, we try to be part of it. But that is about this economy part. Okay. Let's see another portion of it. There are 37,000 African students which have been trained in India in the last 10 years. Okay. So what we see that there is 37,000 African students trained in India in last 10 years. So that is one significant part, that we have got a number of these African students who have been here. They have been trained in many of the prominent institutions of India. If you go to any of the prominent areas, any of the prominent cities of India, like suppose if you come to Delhi, or if you go to Mumbai or Karnataka or various other areas where we have good institutions, so there you will find that there is significant presence of the African students also. So we are having a significant presence of them also. Okay. We are also having, like if we talk about Africa, we are also like having this cooperation with respect to food, with respect to SDG, with respect to COVID-19, with respect to healthcare, and so on. So it is not just about economy. We are having this cooperation in multiple forums, in multiple areas. So we are having cooperation in terms of food also, SDG also, healthcare also, energy also. In fact, energy also. In all these domains, we are having cooperation with Africa. At the same time, India is also advocating. India also advocates. India advocates. India has also been advocating centrality of Africa for South-South Club or South Cooperation. Okay. Africa's centrality to Global South Cooperation. India has been supporting the African countries in terms of the climate forums also. In fact, India also advocates African representation in United States Security Council. Okay. So we also advocate Africa's position in United States Security Council. African countries does it for India. Okay. And we do it also for African countries, that we also want them to be there in United Nations Security Council. There is not a single country from Africa. There is not a single country from Africa. Okay. What we also see that in this case, India has completed 200 plus development projects. We have completed 200 plus development projects in Africa. It is related to energy, water, agriculture, rail, transportation, etc. Okay. We have also provided 700 plus million US dollar in form of grants. We have provided grant worth $700 million to Africa in form of grants. Okay. We provide the credit line also, but these many things have been provided in form of grants also. We are also like collaborating with them in terms of maritime security. Recently, we have changed our Sagar program to Mahasagar. We have discussed it in one of our previous classes. Okay. Now we are talking about all the oceans. We are talking about Africa and all. In fact, when India talks about Indo-Pacific, it says that Africa is also part of it. It doesn't say that Indo-Pacific starts from India and then it goes to the Pacific coast. India says that Indo-Pacific means from the African coast to the coast of the Pacific. So Indo-Pacific for India is not only up to the Bay of Bengal or just up to India. India says Indo-Pacific starts from Africa to that of North America and South America. Okay. So that is our vision for this entire region. In fact, in the recent times, you may have seen that like our relations with most of the African countries are improving. Okay. We have got 3.5 million Indian diaspora. We have got 3.5 million Indian diaspora. Okay. So we have got these many people in like Africa. And in the morning today, like I almost at 5 a.m., I was watching this one address of Prime Minister in Parliament of Ghana. Okay. So I was watching this video in the morning, and in that video, like it was of 45 minutes. It was a like a speech of around 45 minutes, 40 minutes. So in that part itself, you can see that how much willing they are to listen to what India has to say, or how much like they want to come to India. The speaker, I don't know if he was a speaker or someone else, but the person who was presiding over the meeting, so he said that he is going to approve this program of many of those MPs who want to visit India. They were very much like amazed that we have a public accounts committee of our parliament which has a history of more than 100 years. So they want to come and visit India and see how the parliament works. Although that will be much more like disappointing for them also if they really come to visit the Indian parliament during the monsoon session, and if they see what's going on in our parliament, they will take the next flight back to Africa. The way our parliament functions, you all know that. So if they catch like flight to India, and if they reach on some of those stormy days of parliament, then they will take the next flights and will go back to Ghana immediately. Okay. That may become a challenge, okay. But yes, they are eager to come back. They are eager to come here. They're eager to see how the democracy works in India, how the different institutions are running, how we are managing 2,500 plus political parties. Okay. So this is one part. Yes. So yes, India is also like increasing defense cooperation with these countries. So this is one part. This is one angle of, although there are certain challenges. Challenges are like, one, China is also having a very strong hold. China is also having a very strong hold in Africa. Second thing, one of our major drawbacks has been the delay in execution of the projects. The delay in execution of projects, that has been one of the major fallbacks for India. The third part, what we have seen that we want to be treated good in Europe and US. But if African people come to India, then suddenly we start to think that we are superior. So while we have been facing the same white man's burden theory or this racial complexity in Europe and other part of the world, the western part of the world, when the African people come to India, we also treat them in the same manner. So that is one of the challenge. We also need to understand this, that if we are treating them in that manner, if we are not treating them fairly, if we are not giving them that like welcomeness in India, how we can expect that when we go to Europe or others will be treating us good? So what example we are setting for the world? So that also remains one of the challenge. Okay. So this is one part, the China's presence. Second part is delay in the execution. The third part is how we treat the people of Africa if they come to India. So these three are the major challenges. One another challenge which we see in Africa is from time to time there is civil rebellion in various parts of Africa. In fact, if you look at the northern Africa, most of the countries, if you look at the northern Africa, the one above the equator, most of the countries are in some sort of turmoil, some sort of challenge is going on. If you look at Ghana, just nearby, if you look at Mali, Niger, and other countries, so then again, they are in sort of trouble. So this is one part, this is one challenge for us in Africa. Okay. So this is one thing, like how we are cooperating with Africa. Now we have this one interesting news article. Okay. So this article is about a new plant species. Okay. So new plant species, and it has been given a name, Garcinia kusumei. Okay. So now what we see that, like we have got a new plant variety, a new tree species from Assam. This is something which has been identified from Assam. Okay. It's not that it is something quite unique. This news article was quite unique. Now what we see that, like there is one person, Mr. Jatendra Sharma. Okay. So he is like the head, he is the chairperson. Okay. He is like the chairperson of this body. In Assam, there is this, what is the name of body? State Expert Appraisal Committee. Okay. So he is the chairman of this Assam State Expert Appraisal Committee, Mr. Jatendra Sharma. So now we have got 4 different plants which are having name similar to his family members. Okay. This is one part. Maybe it will become somewhat controversial in the future, but yes, what we have seen that, like a new species, it has been given the name Garcinia kusumei, and the name of his mother, okay, the name of his mother is Kusum Devi. So name of his mother is Kusum Devi, and this is the 4th instance when something has been discovered from Assam that has been named after his family members. So that's why this news has been there in the Hindu. Okay. Normally it is the process that if a new species has been found, those who are involved in like those who are involved in finding them, they can give it any name. So a name has been provided to this Garcinia kusumei. Okay. So that's why it has been there. So earlier there was this Syzygium nivei, Garcinia seveshwari. Okay. So another name has also been given, even Amomum pratisthana, Amomum pratisthana. Then there was Syzygium nivei and Garcinia seveshwari. So 3 names were already related to his family, one related to father, one related to wife, one related to daughter. Now there is another plant which has been named after the mother of Mr. Jatendra Sharma. Okay. So that's why this may become somewhat controversial, but this is the one such new, it seemed beautiful also. Okay. So there is no examination relevance as such. I'm just telling you from the news. Okay. That new plant species has been found here in Assam. Okay. So if you find some new plants in the future, if you're finding some new plants, okay, I am suggesting you name. Okay. So if you are getting any such new plants in the future, okay, if any of you are from the botany, or suppose you find a new like frog, new lizard, new species, new bacteria, anything. So I am giving you just this one suggestion. Okay. So then you have this one name you can keep in mind. Out of all the names, you can keep this one name also in the mind. Okay. Now, coming to one last article. Okay. So coming to this one last article, we are having this one clinic for transgenders in India. Okay. So what we see that earlier there was this one clinic, Mitra Clinic. Mitra Clinic. It was in fact the first clinic with all transgender staff. With all transgender staff. So it was running with the help of US aid. It was running with the help of US aid. But now you know that after the Trump's rise to the power, he said that these US aid and everything will be discontinued. So this clinic was closed. But now what we see that this has been revitalized. This has been given a new name. This has been given a new name, Sabrang. This has become a new clinic, Sabrang. Sabrang means now it is including everyone. It is more of a inclusive clinic. It is more of an inclusive approach. It is going to have an inclusive approach, and this time it is being funded by Tata Trusts. Okay. So now Tata Trust is giving the donation for this. Okay. So a new clinic has been opened. Now the name is Sabrang Clinic. So still the primary motive of this clinic is to provide the healthcare facilities to the transgender people. In our country, one of the major challenges for transgender people is they are not having access to healthcare. They are not having access to healthcare. So any clinic like this is a very good step in this direction. So when you are writing something related to transgender people in India, if you want to add some example, so this is one like initiative led by the private sector in India. There are so many billionaires in India. There are so many companies in India. If they can start taking these initiatives, even as part of their corporate social responsibility, then also the society can become more gender neutral, more gender friendly. Okay. So this is one such initiative which you can mention as part of example or case study. Okay. So that is one part. That is the one last article for the day. I have already given you the question. Okay. So that will be all for today. Okay. I have already given you this one task. You have to find out that what initiatives have been taken by the government of India in recent times to control the plastic pollution. So this is all for the week. We will meet again on Monday. Till then, if you discover something new, if you find something new, some new species, you know what to do. Okay. So that will be all. वो खरूस थे बहुत, तो I am not खरूस, so you can name after me. Okay. So that will be all for today. Thank you so much, everyone. Take care and